Hello everyone. Welcome back to the Tianshi Club. How are you all doing today? Happy Halloween! I'm a little late, I know. Stop spooky now. Spooky. I am spooky now. On a scale of 1 to 10, how spooky monkey are we today? Oh. I'd say we're pretty spooky. Looks pretty spooky to me. What do you think? What do you think? Hello, hemoglobin. Welcome, welcome. Wow. Wow. Happy Halloween now. Love the costume. Thank you, Shatter. Oh dear, oh dear. Happy Halloween, Shatter. And happy birthday. Nice costume. Thank you, hemoglobin. That was a lot more spooky monkey than I was expecting. More spooky? It's kind of a lot, I know. Yes, Kurono is back. I am back. Hello, Ryder. Hello. Good to see you. How you doing? Happy late Halloween, JK. Exactly. Happy late Halloween. Hello, Enhiki. Hello. How y'all doing today? Wow, thank you. No, I love what you've done with the place. Thank you. When you decorate, you can't just take it down after a day, right? So it's okay if we're a little late, I think. How was your birthday, Shatter? I'm sorry I wasn't able to make it, but I saw you did a special stream. How are you, Tianshi? Nice costume. Oh, thank you, Enrique. Thank you. Doing pretty well. I'm very happy to say that even though I got a little bit sick last week, I got better in time for Halloween. That's the important part. Did everyone have a good Halloween? Do anything fun? Anything special? Monkey didn't go out this year, but I had a little bit of like time with family and we watched some spooky movies. Not very spooky, just a little spooky. Like that. Wow, we got yes now. Wicked Witch of the South IDK. East, I guess. Since I come from Huaguoshan, which is east of the eastern continent, I guess it's very east. Wicked Monkey of the East. I'm having a snack, a sandwich, and a coffee. Oh, that sounds delicious. Oh, that sounds wonderful. What kind of snack, might I ask? I've always known Now was bewitching. Now we've got proof. Yeah? Bewitching? No. Just monkey. Well, today I guess I am just witchy monkey though. Not doing too well actually. Oh, I'm currently sick at home. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Ryder. I understand. Monkey was also sick at home last week and it was very... Meh. Monkey hates being sick. Makes Monkey frustrated. I want to do so many things, but I can't. But I hope you feel better soon. But now is here, so all is cured. Healing monkey. I will brew you a potion of healing. Birthday was fun and long. Well, my voice is still in recovery mode. Uh-oh. Oh dear, oh dear. I hope it feels better soon. Oh dear. I'm on holiday ATM, so I'm just chilling. Oh, that's great, A-Fox. That's really nice. Nice, relaxing holiday. I know things were getting pretty hectic for you recently. I guess I didn't celebrate. Nobody does here. Ah, I see, I see. And as my mom is a hardcore Christian, it's complicated to tell her how it's not a satanic holiday. Oh. That makes sense, that makes sense. How about, in Brazil, there's a lot of Catholics, right? So, I know that All Saints' Day is technically the day after Halloween. In fact, Halloween, is on the day it is in order to coincide with the Hallows something. Hallows is actually supposed to be a good thing, you know? So it's the Hallows Eve, and that's why it's the day before All Saints' Day, I guess? But I don't know much about it, so I was wondering if they celebrate that at all. Now, wicked? Yes. just a little wicked. Just a small amount. I never really celebrated this event. Instead of spooky, I actually met someone new that has been fun. Oh! So I did the opposite of spooky. Awesome. Ah! Monkey has always liked the kind of cute spooky Halloween, you know? Like with the pumpkins and the kitties and the bats and the candy and cute stuff. Ribbons. Monkey's never actually been into spooky, as y'all know. But Monkey really likes dressing up and stuff, and Monkey of course likes candy, so I've always liked those aspects of Halloween. It's been always up there as a contender as one of my favorite holidays. I mean, anything with dressing up and food. And having fun with other people. I know that a lot of places don't celebrate it, and a lot of places celebrate it in different ways, actually. Like some places it's more spooky, and some places it's less spooky. I had a friend who was really excited because she grew up in a place where it wasn't very spooky, but she likes spooky things. And so when she moved to a place where it was spooky, she went all in. Yeah, as spooky movies, spooky monkey appropriate movies, I guess. What we watched was we watched Nightmare Before Christmas, which I hear is a classic. I've watched it once before. It was pretty good. It was cute. And then we watched Coraline, which is actually kind of spooky, not gonna lie. Monkey watched it as a baby monkey and did not really like it. So when Monkey's family was suggesting, how about Coraline? That one's a good one. Monkey was like, no. I may even have read the book at some point. I only recently learned that it's by Neil Gaiman. And then Monkey was even more like, of course it's scary. It's by Neil Gaiman. This is not for babies. Why did you show this to a baby monkey? But we watched it, and it wasn't too bad. Monkey could remember why I found it very scary and I didn't like it. But this time around, I was able to be like, okay, that wasn't so bad. It was very well done. still a tiny bit spooky. Let's see. Maybe Ham can't confirm. Can't confirm. Okay. Well, sounds good though. Sounds good. Hoping for a speedy recovery, Ryder. Sending my energy. Yeah. Energies of the tea club. For healing. I hope everyone had a good Halloween and good luck to all my fellow Yika chats on NNN, which stands for No Now November, of course. No Now November? I don't know about this one. That doesn't sound good. Now that you mention it though, November does seem to be the month of challenges. October has one. October has Inktober. But November, it really goes into full swing, right? Because there's a kimono challenge in November that Monkey has participated in before. It's called Kimono November. And there's a what's it called? There's the NaNoWriMo that I've been mentioning on and off. The National Novel Writing Month. National Novel Writing Month, which is in November. And all sorts of November challenges. Monkey was wondering why it became the popular month, but I think it's probably because it's in the northern hemisphere. It's getting cold and dark. Has it been dark where y'all are recently? I'm sure it's getting super bright down in the southern hemisphere. Nice and warm and comfy. Up here it's getting cold and dark. And so people are staying indoors and they need something to do to keep themselves entertained. Oh, there's the... Was it Movember? Is the Mustache November? That's some... I think it's like a Men's Health Awareness Month. There's so many. Just gotta have something to do, you know? It's a good month for challenges, I suppose. But I hope that challenge doesn't become a thing since it's too hard. And Monkey would be lonely if y'all did a No Now November. Monkey be sad. With Nal's health potion and Shatter's energy, I'll be up and running by tomorrow. Sounds good, sounds good. I hope so. Fingers crossed, as they say. But if not, don't push yourself. Monkey always has a tendency to push myself when I'm sick, and then if I push too hard, then I stay sick for even longer, and then Monkey's even more frustrated. So, get the rest that you need, Ryder. Surely you mean non-stop now November. Ah! I don't think I could go without LOL. Oh dear. Non-stop now. You know, maybe one of these days, if Monkey has... Monkey wishes I had so much more free time, I could do all sorts of things. It would be kind of fun to do a non-stop now November, like... post something at least every day in November. That'd be kind of funny. I guess I could make it a challenge. But it'd have to be something simple, like maybe post something on Twitter every day or something. I definitely couldn't make YouTube content every day. Ah yes, thank you for the correction, Shatter. Ah yes, very, very important correction. Thank you. Hollow is a cinnamon. Is a cinnamon. A synonym of saint, right? Ah, might be. That makes sense because I've heard it called All Hallows Eve, and then Hallows Eve would then be All Hallows Eve would then be All Saints Eve, right? Something hallowed is something really important. Monkey kind of knows this word. The hallowed halls of this and that, you know. They say it sometimes. I guess not, but we do have a huge amount of Catholic holidays. That's nice. This is a part of Brazil you never see anyone talk about. Really? Nobody talks about it? That's really interesting. I wonder why. I think it's really nice to live in a culture that has a lot of holidays. The ones that Monkey knows of are a lot of Catholic cultures have lots and lots of holidays, and a lot of Indian cultures have a lot of holidays, I think. And I think that's just a wonderful culture to begin with, right? Just celebrate more. Monkey's a little biased because Monkey loves holidays. Holidays are like Monkey's favorite thing. One of Monkey's favorite things. After food and tea and fashion and onsen. Well, maybe not after onsen. Maybe along with one. Monkey likes a lot of things. But Monkey really likes holidays. I think they're so much fun. A lot of holidays, Monkey finds it as just like anytime there's an excuse to celebrate, why not? Do something special, right? Because it just feels nice. And I don't think we need a reason beyond that. Like birthdays and stuff? Monkey likes birthdays. I know some people think, what's the point of a birthday? Especially because with all the different calendars out there, what does it even mean to have a birthday, right? Monkey has come up against that a lot since my birthday was set before the Gregorian calendar even existed, I think. If I think about it. I think so, but Monkey has a bad sense of history. I think the Gregorian calendar is not more than a few hundred years old, right? Monkey's about a few hundred years old. Anyway. You know, so a lot of people are like, birthdays aren't that important. And Monkey says, you know, whether they're important or not, birthdays are a holiday of you, you know? And so why not take the opportunity to celebrate that holiday of you? Even if it's on an arbitrary day, it's still fun. It's still nice, right? It's a nice excuse to just have fun. Have fun in some way that feels a little special. Speaking of cats, do we have a name for our friend on the table? Maybe we pet them. Pet the kitty. Monkey can't really. Try to nuzzle the kitty. There's a kitty friend here. Oh, may we pet them as a request, huh? Oh, I think so. I think they like pettings. So I'm not sure about a name, but I was thinking Kuro. Nice simple name for a black cat. But I'm open to suggestions. Maybe something fall like chestnut. Not very black though. Oh. Where am I? There we are. Hi Monkey, it's 6 p.m. on November 1st for me. Hello Mongoose, welcome. Ah, I see. Is it getting dark? I'm not sure how most people do time zones these days. I know it's a little weird. It's like all strange like. And this is the time of year where people's time zones are going all over the place, isn't it? This time of year and then again in a few months. And with the sun's angle changing, there's only very few hours of daylight. So at some point 6 p.m. becomes dark. But I don't know when that is because Monkey has a terrible sense of time. guess that says something about Monkey. I haven't really been paying attention to when it's getting dark. It just gets dark. Also, it's just dark all day. I guess depends on the kind of weather, the local weather patterns where you are. But around here, it gets dark. It's the dark season. Nightmare is wonderful. I love Tim Burton movies. It's pretty fun. It's got some really nice music. For Tim Burton, I've watched Nightmare Before Christmas, and I think I watched Edward Scissorhands a long time ago. We almost watched, which one is it, Frankenweenie last night? But Monkey started getting sleepy. So we stopped at 2 movies. Nightmare Before Christmas, banger classic movie, but F. Coraline. It is not for kids, especially the book. I'm glad you agree, A-Fox. I'm glad you agree. I see you had the same experience as Monkey. It's not for children. In fact, we watched a little behind the scenes where they showed some of the stop motion because it is beautiful. Studio Leica is incredible. And so we watched a little behind the scenes, and they interview Gaiman, and he's like, yeah, it's really great, and it's done in a way that, it can make it so that not just children, but also adults have a hard time sleeping at night. That's his goal. He wants to scare. It's not nice. Okay, to be fair, he does make some good stuff, but not for children. Everyone thinks, main character is child, must be for children. No. And the book, like you said, is even worse. It's been a while since Monkey read it, but I'm not sure I finished it because it was already too spooky. That's the feeling I get. I'll have to go back and double check, but not for children. To hallow something is to revere or hold as sacred. So yeah. All Hallows Eve precedes All Saints Day, at least traditionally. Yeah, cause Eve means evening. That's why there's Christmas Eve and Christmas, and you can do everything Eve. You can do birthday Eve. Can you do Halloween Eve? Hallows Eve Eve? What else is there? Whatever Eves you want. And Eves are getting important this time of year for some people in the northern and southern hemispheres because it's the rainy season. Get it? Get it? That was a bad one, wasn't it? That was pretty bad. A lot of awareness and addiction breaking challenges. Oh, that's a good one too, with the daylight going down. It's important to really be aware of your health, right? This is that time of year where you gotta be careful with your health. So that makes sense. Some of them contradict each other, but detail isn't family friendly. Oh. Well, I suppose whatever challenge you like is okay as long as it's healthy, right? You said the awareness and addiction breaking and that sort of thing. I mean, as long as it's healthy, that's good. Monkey does not does not support unhealthy challenges. That doesn't seem like a great idea. Not going into the dark winter months. And that doesn't give those of you in the southern hemisphere a free pass on unhealthy challenges either, by the way. Just because it's gonna be happy, sunny, shiny time for you. Should still try to be healthy. But sometimes healthy challenges might contradict each other, right? Like, for example, if your personal healthy weight is higher than you're at currently, you might do a weight gaining challenge. And If your personal healthy weight is lower than where you are currently, then you might do a weight loss challenge. And that's just a very basic way of doing a challenge, right? Because weight doesn't really correlate to health per se. There's a very minor correlation with health. But you know, it's a way of doing it, right? They might do weight gain by eating more and exercising. You might do weight loss by making sure that you're eating healthy so that, you know, you get rid of like cholesterol and stuff. And these might sound like they're in opposition, but they're both healthy challenges as long as you're doing it in a healthy way and based on your own personal needs, right? It's definitely been getting a little more overcast in my neck of the Feywilds. I don't mind personally. It's very much a cold weather clown. Ah! Makes sense. Sweater weather clown. You like sweaters, Chatter? Monkey likes sweaters. Monkey likes cozy cold weather clothing. To a point. To a point. I mean, when it's below 0 outside, Monkey will stay inside. But Monkey likes kind of fall, early winter style clothings. Very cozy feeling. Curl up in front of the fire with a hot chocolate, that kind of feeling. And a nice soft sweater and a throw blanket. However, Monkey is kind of a furnace. I don't know how else to put it. That's how Monkey's family puts it. Monkey's kind of a furnace. And so, actually, it's not the worst thing though, because it means Monkey gets a lot of cuddles in the cold months. Lots of kitties and siblings and family members will come to Monkey because Monkey is warm. They are attracted by my warmth like moths to a flame. So it's a very cuddly month for Monkey. It's really nice. Monkey likes to say, you can tell the weather is turning when the cats start sitting on you again. Or sleeping on you. Mostly, yeah, sleeping on. In the warm months, the cats will sleep nearby, but usually not on top. But as they migrate closer and get more cuddly, the cuddliness of your cats will tell you the weather. Though again, I guess that shows you how observant Monkey is, because I think most people know the weather just by looking at the weather, or feeling the weather. Monkey needs other signals sometimes. Otherwise, Monkey's like, why do I feel so cold recently? Must be something wrong with me. But no, the kitties, they prove that it's not just Monkey. Now's seriousness never fails to impress. Eh? What'd I do? Wait, I didn't even do anything. I am just Monkey. I am not Cecil. I am just Monkey. Dark here now. Not sure if that's why, but feeling sad today. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Mongoose. Yeah, that can contribute for sure. It's a big part of it. There've been studies that show there is a big correlation between mood and how much sunlight there is per day. Hopefully you can get a little bit of sunlight soon, and hopefully you feel better soon. But you know, it's okay if you feel a little bit sad too. It's okay to just feel sad sometimes. But hopefully you can get cozy. And even if you feel sad, at least be cozy, right? Got it. Willingly failing no now November to make sure they aren't sad. I mean, Monkey doesn't want you to feel like you failed something, but oh, that's a good example actually. You said no now November, and you also said Non-stop? No, November. These are in opposition. This is true. And I suppose the health benefits are questionable on either side, so... But Monkey would appreciate if you choose the one where Monkey's not lonely. Post something every day. The return of Pop Monkey. Yeah, there have been a couple of times, right, where Monkey has kind of gotten, how you say, a burst of free time and made a lot of random clips and released them every day. Oh, you know, it'd be a good time to do karaoke again. Then I can clip that. We are overdue for our 300 subs karaoke stream. But yeah, I don't know if I have too much time. It's a busy month. I vaguely knew that Brazil was Catholic, but it's easy to forget. Yeah, Monkey always forgets which governments are tied to a religion and which ones are not. I think Brazil... I don't know if Brazil's government is tied to Catholicism or not, but I do know that the majority religion is Catholicism, I believe, in the area, in the culture. I can be corrected. Please correct me if I am incorrect. Always. Always. That's one old monkey. I'm pretty old in terms of mortal years. In terms of mortals, I think the only mortals that might be live as long as Monkey has are probably like turtles and stuff. Depending on how you define mortals, I guess. There are jellyfishes and stuff too. And then of course there's the great trees that live for a very long time. But amongst immortal monkeys, it's not very much at all, actually. The majority of immortal monkeys right now are let me think, a few thousand years old, if I remember correctly. We're not very good at keeping track sometimes of age because of that, and Monkey's even worse because I'm terrible with numbers. So I think it's thousands at this point. Yes, I think majority? Not sure if majority. A lot of the immortal monkeys on Huaguoshan are in their thousands. So comparatively, Monkey's just baby. But or nearing their thousands? Monkey's gonna have to ask. Somewhere around that range. So Monkey's just baby on the mountain. But compared to mortals, I can be Monkey Baba. Monkey gets to feel old. It's a rare thing when Monkey's back with my family. A birthday is a way of saying, I'm glad you're still here. That's a wonderful way of putting it, Mongoose. I agree, that's wonderful. I'm glad you're still here. And the best thing about that statement is that you can say it to yourself too, you know? Because every once in a while, I feel like all of us, every once in a while, we're gonna have a lonely birthday, right? Well, I mean, Monkey's had hundreds of birthdays, so... So maybe, I don't know if in a mortal's lifetime, if this always happens or not, but in an immortal monkey's lifetime, you're always gonna have some birthdays that are lonely, you know? Maybe you're all by yourself, or maybe it's just a hard time. And in those moments, it's also important to say, you know what? Even if I don't have the energy or the people to celebrate with, I can at least tell myself, I'm glad you're still here, you know? And that's something special. That's something special to remember, because it's your birthday, and it's your time to be told, even by yourself, maybe especially by yourself. I'm glad you're still here. I just think of my birthday as being 1 year closer to death. Oh! Is that how you mortals think about it? That's kind of an interesting way of viewing life. Oh my goodness. Although I'm a strong believer in memento mori. Remember your mortality. Remembering your mortality is important though. Even as an immortal monkey, I still remember my mortality because I'm only 1 degree immortal, right? Which means that monkey is not going to die of old age. But that doesn't mean there aren't other ways that monkey could die. So I gotta be careful. Gotta make sure I remember how important it is to be here. Now, hello, happy Halloween, cute costume. Oh, thank you. Hello, best squid. Happy Halloween. How are you doing? You have a good Halloween? Overcast skies all day. Yeah. You too, huh, hemoglobin? Sure feels that way. No more sunlight. No more sunlight for a few months now. Not a bad thing per se, because you know this kind of weather pattern leads to good stuff too. But take care of yourselves. Remember that not having enough sunlight does contribute to also feeling sad and stuff. And that's okay. It's okay to feel sad. But to make sure to give yourself that room that you need then. To handle feeling sad, to find ways to feel happy. Not to mention, in the book, there's a graphic scene, of a child's eye being gouged out. Very child-friendly. Oh dear. Oh dear. Yes, I get the feeling I may not have read that far. Yes. Yes. I think written books definitely have a lot more power to be scary too. They just really get into your head more because they can describe things that cannot be described, that cannot be seen, right? And just give you feelings that way. And then on top of that, Monkey has always thought that books, you know how there are various kinds of entertainment media, right? And they're all different levels of participatory, I suppose you could say. Like games versus watching a movie, right? Games tend to be more participatory because you're actually doing things in the game. And movies are less participatory because you just have to watch. And so books, in Monkey's opinion, are on a bit closer to the more participatory scale because you gotta just imagine it all in your head, right? And that participation and invocation of imagination can make things even scarier than even if you saw them on a screen, right? But with that protective distance. There's no protective distance with a book. It's all in your head. Edward Scissorhands is great as well. You know, that we could have watched. I almost forgot that would have been an option. Yeah, I watched it maybe once a long time ago, so I don't remember it too perfectly well, but I do remember it was pretty good. It was very sweet, if I remember correctly. His art direction is fantastic. I love the look of his movies, like Sleepy Hollow. Oh, I don't know if I know Sleepy Hollow. Let me look it up since you say you like the way it looks. Let's see. Sleepy Hollow. Hello. Oh dear. Oh, interesting. Oh, very interesting. Does look spooky. But in sort of a very very pretty sort of way, huh? How do I say? Not like stereotypically pretty, but at least these screenshots. The way the vegetation, I guess? Is it vegetation even if all the leaves are gone? I like the way that all looks. The sort of like rustic detail, but like lots of brambly, however you say. I like that. I don't think you're supposed to Eve other Eves. You don't think so? But it's just Eves all the way around. If you have enough Eves, you get back to the original holiday, don't you? I mean, the movie is really good, to be fair. Yeah, it's really good. I did think the movie was really good. It was incredible. Just not a children's movie. Maybe children who are really good at not being scared, maybe they can watch it, you know? Just like children can watch not children's movies as long as they're ready and prepared for it. But even some adults, I feel, will be pretty spooked by Coraline. It does not feel... And I feel like, especially children, I feel like the more baby you are, the more your everyday life is connected to imagination and learning. And that's something that Coraline really taps into. The movie in particular does a great job. I mean, the book also does, but the movie does a great job of hitting that way of thinking where reality and imagination, they blur together and you know the difference, but also you kind of just let them blur anyways. I don't know if you know what I mean. Monkey was definitely a very imaginative baby, so I was thinking about this and talking about it with my siblings recently about this idea of that feeling. Monkey still has that quite a bit, actually. I guess maybe because I'm still a baby monkey by immortal monkey terms. I still kind of have that. Maybe that's why I don't like scary things. But it was much stronger when Monkey was a baby, and this movie really taps into it. The novel Peter Pan does a good job too. Mary Poppins, these are not scary. Peter Pan and Mary Poppins, the novels, they're not scary, I think, but they still tap into that how you say, that overlapping mindset of reality and imagination. I love the references being Coraline's dream world and her desires, and also the animation is so good. Yeah, it's really cool, and the way they do it really captures that feeling. And geez, Studio Laika is just incredible in terms of their animation quality. It is stellar. It is very easy to forget that you're watching stop motion because it's so smooth and so detailed and so I don't know. But the one thing that tips you off that it's stop motion is that it's so beautiful in some ways. I think digital is still catching up to being able to make something that looks that good, right? But it's very close. It's especially with modern digital technology, it's easy to just get lost in the movie and forget that this is stop motion. The addiction breaking challenge I'm thinking of might be accidentally unhealthy. Oh, gotta be careful then, right? Like Monkey was saying, the weight gain, weight loss challenges, they can be considered healthy if you're doing them right. But if you're doing them wrong, or you're doing the wrong one, it can be very unhealthy, right? Like if you do a challenge, what's a good challenge? Monkey's been thinking about different types of food recently, right? And let's say you do a no dairy challenge, right? Because you're lactose intolerant like the majority of people, and you figure, you know, dairy has a lot of stuff in it that you don't need that you can get from other things. Then cutting out dairy, especially if it's well, actually I don't know. This is Monkey talking. Don't take Monkey's nutritional advice. Monkey is not a nutritionist. I have no idea what I'm talking about. But I think doing a no dairy challenge is something that would be viable and could be healthy for some people. On the other hand, if you do a no dairy challenge, you live in a place where dairy is very important, places like the European Peninsula, especially up north. I guess nowadays this is less the case, huh? For you modern humans, it's less the case. But it's the reason why people up there are the only ones who are lactose tolerant. It's cause you kind of need milk to get through the winter. You kind of need it, I think. And that's probably why the lactose tolerance developed up there. Because if evolution selected for it, it meant that it was something that helped people survive, you know? So, don't do a no dairy challenge if it is your primary source of calories and nutrients. Or if you are a baby who should be drinking milk because you're still a milk drinking baby. Is there a name for the stage of mammalian life where you are still drinking milk? Now Monkey wonders. But I suppose most mammals who are still in the milk drinking phase probably are not watching Monkey right now, so I think it's a safe advice. It's a double-edged sword, in my opinion. The Coraline being so good, it's true. It's very dangerous that Coraline's so good, because it makes it scarier. Muscle is denser than fat. Muscly people are obese if you go by simple BMI numbers. Yeah. That's why I was saying this weight loss, weight gain thing is really just a loose correlation. It's like any challenge, you need some sort of metric, right? And so people like to use weight for it because that used to be the easiest health metric to get. Nowadays, they have these cool devices that you can use at home to do things like check your body composition, like percentage muscle to fat to other, that sort of thing. I've seen them. I've tested one once or twice. I don't have one, but I know they exist. And there are heart rate monitors widely available now, and all sorts of things that you can do at home now that are not weight. There's even blood sugar monitors have gotten much better in recent years, is what I've been told. They're not nearly as awful as they used to be. Though still, I think they can be difficult. I'm trying to remember. But there's a lot of other ways you can help give yourself some sort of number for your health. Because challenges are always a lot easier to hold yourself to if you have some sort of metric, right? It's just that up until now, because these devices are complicated, up until now weight has been the easiest way. But there are other metrics. You can even just use things like you can use that in combination with, like, if you have a tape measure at home, you can use tape measures. But again, like you said, it doesn't tell you your body composition. And that's why I was saying people who are underweight, one of the things they can do in addition to eating more is, of course, to exercise. Because when you are eating more, you want to make sure that a lot of that is being stored as healthy body mass. So you're going to need a certain amount of fat reserves and a certain amount of muscle, right? And yeah, being underweight is actually very dangerous. Monkey doesn't know much about it, but someone I know who was studying nutrition was talking about how there's actually a higher correlation of early mortality in people who are underweight than overweight. So you gotta be careful. Which is also why you better not take Monkey's health advice. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Get some real health advice. But but yeah, weight was just the easy metric to work with. But Monkey knows plenty of people who are by raw BMI standards, which again was just an easy metric, would be considered overweight, and it's because they really like exercising, and so they just have a lot of muscle, you know. So I think, excuse me, I think the best way, obviously, to do a Get Healthy challenge is to do a qualitative assessment of yourself, because in some ways you know your body better than you realize sometimes. I think in this day and age of information, we feel like we want all of our body stats, right? That's how Monkey feels. I want all my body stats so I can optimize them. But what Monkey has realized, and what Monkey's trying to do personally, is to pay attention to what my own body feels like. Really listen to what it's telling me, and that even without quantitative aspects, you can do a qualitative thing, like just check in with yourself and say, is this doing well? In fact, you can make that into a challenge. You can make it a challenge to check in with yourself every day about how you're feeling physically, and what you think that means about what you should be doing. Going outside, exercising, eating one thing or another. Monkey finds that aside from certain cravings, which are very clearly cravings for unhealthy things, Monkey can actually tell the difference too. The cravings for unhealthy things versus the cravings for what Monkey needs right now, they're different. So sometimes Monkey will be like, oh, I really want, I don't know, something with a lot of meat in it, right? Or I want something with a lot of starch in it. Or I want something with a lot of vegetables. A lot of green leafy vegetables. Or a lot of cooked vegetables. Browned vegetables. If you listen, your body will tell you these things. And it will tell you things like, oh, I think I ate too much. Or I think I'm still hungry. You know? And I guess that's a way to kind of do minimal quantification by saying, well, I checked in once, and that's a number I can check off. While still remaining qualitative about it, right? I don't know. Monkey's just thinking here. Just thinking random thoughts. He's below 0. Yeah, below 0 is cold. It's cold. I feel like we need to draw a definitive line between skinny and bony. That's an interesting thought, Mongoose. I've never thought about it before. I'm not sure. I mean, it's very cultural and very personal, actually. Monkey remembers seeing a study once where they surveyed a lot of people in Japan what they considered to be average weight, overweight, and underweight, based on just images of people, and it's interesting because there was some overlap. There was some amount of a normal curve, I believe, but the spread was a lot wider than you would think. Instead of saying, trying to draw lines between these qualitative words, I would say maybe the healthiest way to go about this is to sort of start to change the nuance of these words, because as far as Monkey understands in English, skinny has a positive nuance and bony has a negative nuance. And in some ways, Monkey thinks that having an automatic nuance associated with a body type is kind of unfortunate because everyone has their own healthy body type range. At least that's how Monkey sees it. Everyone has their own range in which they can thrive. And for some people that's within the skinny or bony categories, and for some people it's not. And so adding a connotation to these things can be detrimental to making people think that they should be in a range that is not their range, or that they shouldn't be in a range that is their range, you know? And these are very, very personal individual ranges, right? I'm not talking about a linear range of like, I don't know, any particular metric, because even skinny and bony, these might depend on the person, how your body fat is distributed on your body, right? And so if you take a particular metric, then that's still not gonna really be relevant to individuals. And that's why I think the words themselves will do what words do, which is they change meaning, and they're not really exact, and they just kind of have cultural meaning. But if we can shift that cultural meaning such that healthy body type is considered good, regardless of what that body type is for you, then that's probably a good place to be, right? Not that Monkey really knows how that would look or how to get there, but that's how Monkey feels. Monkey is very much about individual health. Not trying to conform yourself to the average, because there's no such thing as average. They've tried in the past to make things for the average person or find the average person. They don't exist. And so while the averages are helpful to get you in the range, because obviously what's healthy for a human, for example, has a range versus what's healthy for a monkey, and so kind of knowing your ranges based on your various classifications can be helpful, can help you narrow it down into what's probably healthy for you. But after a certain point, it all comes down to you. Sweaters, hoodies, coats, the whole 9 yards. Oh. Nice. Scarves are nice too. That's nice. I think I'm naturally on the warmer side, so I heat up easier, I suppose. Well, me too. Monkey is the hot spring. Oh, I hadn't thought about that. That would be nice, actually. I wouldn't mind being the patron kami of a hot spring. That sounds wonderful. If you happen to stumble upon a hot spring that doesn't have a patron kami yet, let me know. I'll take over. I wish I were still a furnace. Now I run cold. Oh, I see. It's kind of tough when it changes, huh? Because then you have to learn to do things a different way than you've been doing before. But running cold does mean that you get to do more of the cozy things. More sweaters, more hot chocolate, more hot baths, right? I think that's the silver lining, right? More cuddles where you're not overheating. Monkey had a friend who ran cold. So cold that even in sort of chilly ambient temperatures, not like cold, just chilly, her fingers and toes would already start to go a little purple. She needed a lot of warming. I occasionally get headaches until the thunder hits. Oh, is that so? You can kind of feel... You can feel the... What is it in the air? It's not electricity yet. It must be some sort of ionization or something. The pressure, right? The barometric pressure and stuff. You can kind of feel the thunderstorms coming. That's a pretty cool ability, not gonna lie. It kind of sucks, because headaches always suck, right? It kind of sucks, but it is also kind of cool. Maybe 8. I've just spent most of this month revisiting things I love. Oh, that's wonderful, Ava. I think that's the best way to do it. Of course, I had to have my annual Bloodborne playthrough. Oh! And I also rewatched my favorite TV show and reread my favorite book. Oh, that sounds really wonderful. That's wonderful. May I ask what the TV show and book are? If you don't mind sharing. I try and let chat and now guess what they are. Oh! I gotta guess. Well, Monkey's not good at this kind of thing. What do you all think? Hint, book is book 1 is kind of a normie pick, I guess. Normie pick. Okay, so favorite TV show and favorite book. Favorite book. By normie pick, I'm guessing you mean that it's actually a very popular book. A lot of people consider it their favorite book. Let me think. In recent human history, right? In recent human history, one of the most popular book series to come out was Harry Potter, right? So that comes to mind. But I think I don't know if there's been actually. Does anyone know? Has there been another book that has topped Harry Potter's how you say, record since Harry Potter? Monkey's not really good at keeping up with these kinds of things. Monkey only knows the Harry Potter one because there have been a lot of news articles about it, actually. A lot of people analyzing how it helped draw children back into recreational reading in a lot of places. So it actually had a visible cultural impact on reading levels and literacy, which is cool. So I remember reading some stuff about that. But I guess that's only the kind of thing you can know in hindsight. So I don't know if there's something else more recently. Also, maybe Monkey's thinking about it because, Monkey's feeling a little witchy today, I suppose. And TV show. And you said rewatched, so it can't be something that's currently airing. What's a good TV show? And I remember, A-Fox, you said that you actually don't tend to watch a lot of anime, so I'm guessing it's not an anime TV show. What's a good TV show? You know, Monkey... There was a time in Monkey's life where I watched a lot of TV, but nowadays not so much. So it's hard for me to think of what TV shows even exist. Anyone have any ideas? At a fox. Oops. Where'd it go? Oh, here we are. At a fox. Amateur stoic here. Oh? How does Memento Mori not give you chronophobia? Oh. This is a lot of, We are now getting deep into, real philosophy. Monkey is only a very sort of, I wonder kind of how they say, what do they call them? Couch philosophers, something like that. Monkey hasn't done a lot of study. So I know the terms stoic and the term memento mori. But this is the first time I've heard of memento mori having some sort of relationship with chronophobia. That actually sounds kind of interesting on this. If you don't mind giving me like the explain like I'm five Cliff Notes version. What does that all mean? Karaoke again, you say? Nice. I really need to plan that soon. I apologize that I've been talking about it for so long now. I'm sure you all believe it's not going to happen, but it will happen. It will happen. I will set a day. I will make that my goal. Maybe that will be my November goal. Set a day. Make it happen. And I guess if you're lucky, if we make it to 400, then I'll have to set another one soon too. I just try and live every day like it's my last, cause scary thought it could be. Yeah, I guess that is true. But I get the feeling that I don't really know what that means. I don't know. Even after hundreds of years, it's hard to really conceptualize what that means. And also, in some ways, I don't want to live every day like it's my last, because if it was Monkey's last day, I would probably be kind of sad. If I knew, I'd probably be kind of sad, like frantically calling up friends and family and being like, I love you all so much, which is something that you should do. But if I did it every day, I think they might start to worry. You know? If every day I wake up panicked and call everyone and then sit. I know that's not what people mean, but that's how Monkey feels. Maybe you come to terms with it better if you live with that thought for long enough, but Monkey finds it a scary thought. But it is true. It is true that every moment could be your last. But I guess rather than that sort of scary framing, Monkey doesn't like scary things. Monkey prefers a framing that comes a bit more from Eastern philosophy. Somewhere between India and China and all of those places. Basically Zen and meditation and that kind of thought. And that's not to focus on the inevitability of death, but to focus on the fact that the only thing that truly exists in this world is you right here, right now. Even the you of a couple of seconds ago is gone now. And the you of a couple of seconds into the future, you don't know what's actually gonna happen. Anything could happen. And so, since neither of those things are right now, the thing that matters the most is the right now. And in typical sort of Zen fashion, the right now is not a single instant either. It's not something you can hold on to. It's a process of change. It's like how now Monkey's gonna get kind of over academic perhaps, but it's kind of like how having a point with a slope, you know, like on a graph, a point, you wouldn't think it has a slope, but if it's part of a line, the point slope exists actually. The point does not exist without the change inherent within it, bringing it from past to future, even though past and future are not that point. And so, in this way, you can connect with both the joy of being in the moment you're in currently and truly appreciating it for what it is. Because you gotta appreciate, if it's literally the only thing we have, this moment right now, this is the only thing we truly have, then then we really ought to appreciate it, right? We might as well make the best of it and enjoy it. No matter what this moment is for you, no matter how it is you're feeling, no matter where it is you're at, even if it's a moment where you're feeling bad, it's still the only moment you have. And so, even if you're feeling bad, you can recognize that you're capable of both feeling bad and appreciating the moment at the same time. It really is something that you can do. You are capable. And so, you do that, but connecting it with that point slope, you can also say that it doesn't mean that you don't have to be always the same either. You are changing. You are inevitably changing. There's no such thing as not changing. Changing is the reality in the same way that this moment is the reality. And so, it doesn't preclude you saying, this moment I'm having right now, I appreciate it and I love it because it's what I have. But I would also like to point myself in the direction such that my future moments are nice, Like, if you're not happy with where you are right now, you can kind of aim yourself. You can put your point slope in the direction pointing to where you think it would be nice to be. And then enjoy that moment of you pointing in that direction, Does that make any sense? Sometimes Monkey maybe doesn't make any sense. But I like that kind of feeling. I like that kind of feeling more so than focusing on what you don't have, which is death. You don't have death right now. And so I'd rather focus on what we do have. Like here and now with all of you. Republic of Ireland is traditionally Catholic, although a lot of lapsing going on apparently. What's lapsing? Isn't lapsing some sort of Filipino food? Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Lapsing, lapsang. 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 Ah, lapsang is a type of tea. Is that a location then, I wonder? That explains why monkeys heard the word. Lapsang so chong. What is this? Lapsang. Zhengshan. Zhengshan. Oh. It's lapsang. What dialect is that? Maybe Cantonese? Okay. Never mind, monkey getting distracted. I just don't want people to be held back from doing something they love and to live life to the fullest without hurting anyone. Yeah, exactly. I think our philosophies, the end goal is the same, right? For everyone to really enjoy their lives and live them to the best that they can based on what's best for them. And them meaning us too. Meaning we should live our lives that way too. Whether it be discovering new hobbies or asking out that girl you really like, just don't let other people or possible embarrassment hold you back. That's nice too. I think any philosophy taken to the extreme can sometimes be dangerous. Just like eating anything too much can be dangerous. But reminding yourself of the things like that, like don't let things that don't matter to you stop you from doing things that do matter to you, I guess, is a nice way of kind of what is the word? Distilling that down, perhaps? Let me know if if I misunderstood, but that's kind of what I'm getting from you, Fox, is don't let the things that don't actually matter to you prevent you from doing the things that do actually matter to you. I think that's always a good thing to be aware of, right? Don't be like Monkey and then think about it too hard and then start not being able to tell which ones do matter to you and which ones don't matter to you and then having to figure that all out. If you can avoid getting to that point, that's good too. But Monkey definitely agrees with that on a very basic, natural level, right? And as you said, without hurting anyone, because that's important. Luckily, humans are social species, so for the majority people, you'll find that actually what does matter to you is being nice to other people and making sure not to hurt other people. For the majority of people, that's going to be the case. So you'll find that it actually is a mutually aligned goal for the most part. Of course, there are going to be times where it's difficult and contradictory, and you're going to have to figure out what really truly matters to you. But it's okay to take that time to figure it out too. I would say focusing on not letting other people or embarrassment hold you back is important. But the underlying thought there is that you should think to yourself, am I doing this? Am I not doing this because I'm afraid what other people would think? But actually it will be okay. Like that's not gonna hurt anyone else, so it doesn't matter, right? Or are you saying, actually the reason for embarrassment, every emotion has a reason, right? These reasons, they exist to tell us stuff and to make sure that we pay attention to ourselves and what's best for us. So even embarrassment has a place, right? It's there to let you know that you have a boundary that you're afraid to cross, right? And it's a boundary often related to social, right? It makes you tread carefully in social so that you make sure you're not stepping on other people's toes, right? Or ostracizing yourself from a community that you'd actually like to be a part of. So I wouldn't say completely disregard all embarrassment whatsoever, live your life without ever feeling embarrassed. But I would say, when your embarrassment is trying to tell you something, take a look at what it's trying to tell you, and then decide whether or not you say, you know what, embarrassment, I agree, thank you for looking out for me. I think this time, it's more important for me, I'll have a happier time if I go along with what you're telling me, right? I think in this case it'll be okay. Or, if your embarrassment is kind of worried and raising the flag that you should think about it, but when you think about it, you say, thank you, embarrassment, I appreciate you pointing this out to me, and it is something that's good to be aware of. But actually, I think it'll be okay if I do the thing that I want to do. It's not gonna hurt anyone, myself included, and whatever consequence that your embarrassment is warning you about, either you'll decide it doesn't apply in this case, or it's a consequence you're willing to take because the thing you want to do is important enough to you personally that it feels like the right thing to do. So while I caution completely trying to disregard what other people think, or your own personal feelings of embarrassment, I also think that you shouldn't let yourself make decisions blindly based on things that are not necessarily what you actually want. People always think of the native or the African influence, but here's quite Catholic. You walk around and will end up seeing these massive old churches. Oh, interesting. I hadn't realized. So in Brazil, the native and African influences are more focused on, huh? More consciously focused on. Interesting. We're glad you're still here now. Oh, oh, thank you, Saturn. Oh dear, I'm glad you're still here, Saturn. And I'm glad everyone in the tea club is still here. It is wonderful being here with all of you. You could slip on a brick. That would be embarrassing. Yes, Monkey's never done anything like that before. I think Monkey has mentioned that Monkey is a very clumsy monkey. I perhaps slip and trip very often, walk into things, crash into things. You kind of get used to it after a while, actually. But do be careful, though. Do be careful. You can get hurt. I have a white light box. Should probably dig it out. Oh! Oh, that's really cool. I don't know too much about them, but I think I have heard of them, right? They're like little boxes you can look into that are filled with light in the spectrum of sunlight, right? Something like that. And it helps to trigger some of those mechanisms. Oh, that's really awesome. Do you find that it helps? That's really wonderful. Maybe Monkey should look into that kind of thing. The brain named itself. It's an interesting point you bring up there, Ryder. I'm not sure what the context was that brought this about, but it is an interesting point. The brain named itself. Depending on where you believe individuality comes from, you probably could say that the brain named itself, because at the very least, we know that there are language centers in the brain that are used for language, right? So a word would have to manifest itself in the brain, and if it were to name itself. Though now that you mention it, I wonder, when coming up with a name for something, if there are other parts of the body that trigger. Because we're recently finding out through science that a lot of your thinking is not necessarily all neuron brain thinking, right? Obviously, there's going to be the unconscious thinking that happens in neurons throughout your body, and especially the spinal cord, where reflexes actually often only hit the spinal cord before sending out a new instruction. So there's thinking that happens down that way. And then, on top of that, there's all the hormones and chemicals that flow throughout your body from and to different systems. And these hormones and chemicals affect the brain, but also affect other systems. So the question is, can you think with those other systems? Apparently there's a lot of like stuff in your stomach that could be considered thinking. I think there might be a lot of neurons and local stuff. What's it called? Monkeys losing the ability for words. But yeah. Now you're making Monkey think about sort of what is it called? Ship of Theseus kind of stuff. Monkey thinks about that sometimes. And about all the minor systems that living beings are made up of, and symbiotic systems, and how there's more bacteria that make up your body than your own cells. So what part of that is actually you? Discworld books have jokes that only work in print, like a skilled opera singer projecting her voice further up the page. Oh! Really? That's really interesting! that. I only got I don't think I've even finished the first chapter. I think I only got through the first bit of Discworld so far, and then didn't really finish it. Didn't really keep going from there yet. It's on my list. It's on my list of things to read, but I haven't gotten too far yet. I didn't know they do things like that. That's really cool. That's really fun. So when you put it that way, the version of Discworld that Monkey was gonna read is the digital version. I don't know how you can translate that to digital. Like you said, that kind of only works in print. I wonder. Reminds me of what one of the things I have been reading recently is the Bartimaeus trilogy, starting with the Amulet of Samarkand, and currently I'm on the Golem's Eye. And the character Bartimaeus talks with a lot of footnotes. And that works pretty well in print form because you can just glance at the bottom of the page. But in digital form, it gets a little bit more cumbersome because you have to page over to where the footnote is. And they'll have these hot links so that you can get there quickly and get back quickly, but it's not the same sort of feeling. It's a lot more cumbersome than just being able to glance down. And in some ways gives a different feeling because it's taking you somewhere else rather than existing on the same page. Scissorhands was like Frankenstein in suburbia with the fake sympathy that can come along with that lifestyle. Still a lot less whiny than the Frankenstein. Oh. I don't suppose I know enough to really comment on any of this. My siblings keep recommending Frankenstein to me because it is a good book, apparently. But I haven't read it yet. It does definitely pull from the story of Frankenstein now that you mention it, when I look at it. Does the creator of Edward Scissorhands feature in the movie? Man, it's been so long. Monkey maybe should rewatch this before I try to talk about it. Sleepy Hollow is quite the spooky movie, though. Oh, very gothic, which I enjoy a lot. Ah, gothic. You know, maybe that's what I'm thinking about, because gothic architecture has that really like intricate feeling to it, right? Maybe that's the feeling I was getting. Disagree with which one? OG Jurassic Park T-Rex scene holds up better than the recent She-Hulk series. Oh, disagree with... I'm guessing this is something that Monkey said about stop motion? I guess maybe about the state of CG. I don't actually know, unfortunately, from context. I'm guessing the recent She-Hulk series has some CG in it. And the Jurassic Park T-Rex scene was the Jurassic Park T-Rex CG. I don't actually know what techniques they were using. But Monkey did not mean to imply that that as digital technology advances, it means that everything made with that technology is good, right? Just because a technology advances doesn't mean that one, everyone has access to that technology, and two, that everyone is going to be able to use that technology to hit its greatest potential, right? So, just as the steady march of progress is a fallacy, I think is that something that other people have said? That's what Monkey thinks. This steady march forward progress of history of that sort of thing. It's just a fallacy. It's just a thing that's comforting to think about and makes for good stories. But it's not really true. Not on some objective level. Life will always meander. Up and down and sideways, and sometimes things get better and sometimes things get worse. Things just kind of happen sometimes. So I'm not saying that necessarily like all CG now is really good or anything like that. I'm not sure if I implied that or not. But that some CG these days is very impressive. Unweaned. I guess so. It still kind of defines it as something that's the not of something else though, right? I was feeling like there should be a word for it. Like how there's a word for baby bugs or like larvae, right? Well, but they actually have very different physical forms sometimes, so I guess that's why they get different words. But I feel like life stages, you have like adolescent, and you have like adult, and you have baby. So why not have a word for baby that still subsists primarily on milk? It just seems like something we should have, right? I hadn't thought about it. There are multiple lactose tolerance mutations that are spread out in various regional populations. The Northern European version of it may be the strongest one, though. You know, I didn't know about that. The fact that there are different kinds of lactose tolerance mutations. That's really cool. But that makes a lot of sense because depending on where you are in the world, people did drink milk or consume dairy products, but from different animals sometimes, and also from different processes, right? And so those things can also perhaps change things. And so people who develop lactose tolerance under different conditions are obviously not always going to have the same mutation. For example, there are two hypomelanistic mutations, two separate hypomelanistic mutations that took place in humans. And that's why amongst hypomelanistic humans, you can kind of tell the difference if you look closely in the skin tone. Because they happened at different times in different places. So it makes sense that there would be multiple kinds of lactose tolerance. But the Northern European version definitely, it's gotta be either the strongest or at the very least the most prevalent. Because in terms of lactose tolerance, most populations don't go above 60% of the population being lactose tolerant. Most human populations don't get any higher than 60. Whereas Northern European heritage people, the percentage of lactose tolerant people, I believe, is closer to 90%. 80-90%. I saw the charts once and they blew me away. So I don't know if it's stronger or not, to be honest, the mutation itself, but it's definitely more prevalent. I could talk about genetic diaspora all day, but I got in trouble for that before. I could see that. Because it's not a very established science yet, in that it's very new and also has a lot of unfortunate links to cultural biases. I can see how it can be a very difficult and delicate topic. If you look, a lot of any sort of science or academic study related to humans will always be colored by the cultures of the times in which the studies are happening, right? History is a great example because it's so easy to see how our perceptions of our current reality affect how we talk about what we think happened in the past, and how we can even come up with ideas of what might have happened. We're always constrained by our own personal culture in terms of trying to interpret what happened in the past. But anything involving humans' health, for example, is often overlooked. That, for example, a lot of a lot of health studies are done on a very homogeneous population of what up until now has been at least, and now I'm talking about studies published in English and probably German, the sort of European heritage cultures have always been done on like white male college students, because if you think about it, the best place to do a study is at a college, because a lot of researchers work at colleges anyways, and so then when they need to pull people, the student body is easy, and anyone who's in a class having to do with either health or psychology or something like that, you can give them credits for going to these studies. Additionally, they probably need money to survive, so you can promise them some money. So it's really easy to just get a population from amongst your student population, which in European heritage cultures has been predominantly young white males for a long time in recent history. Now, obviously, this is going to be the opposite in cultures that, like in East Asia. Obviously, they're all gonna be East Asian heritage, right? But I find that the studies, these types of sciences, have trouble crossing language barriers sometimes, and so they get siloed, and so health amongst English/German speaking cultures all is one sphere, and then I think French might have been in there too. I'm trying to remember what the languages of science have been in modern history. English, German, maybe French. In the Western European sphere, and then in East Asia, it's obviously going to be Chinese is the dominant language of the health sciences for several thousand years. But even then that means they're also because these are the target populations, or these are the populations that were studied. While it is fair to generalize from a study about humans to other humans, sometimes nuances will get lost, right? Like if you're studying mostly young white males, then you might not notice something that is different for females, or older people, or children, or non-white people, that sort of thing. And furthermore, if you're only studying young East Asian men, then you might miss out on what's going on with, black people, or whatever else is out there, right? I mean, you're studying hypomelanistic people, then you're not gonna have the studies on hypermelanistic people, and vice versa. So, where was I going with this? And so there's going to be inherent biases even within just the scientific studies themselves, in very hidden ways, right? In ways that you wouldn't even notice if you didn't really take the time to think about it, because it's just the norms. Nobody questions norms, right? Especially invisible norms like that. But then there are gonna be more visible ones that you just don't notice because it's your culture, right? It's like how you don't know if you come from a talkative culture until you meet a culture that's less talkative than you. And still then you don't know if you're a talkative culture because there might be cultures that are even more talkative than you. So it's not something you would even think about until you come into contact with another culture. So with something like genetic diaspora, which is very new but inherently very tied to humans and their cultures, I can see how it's something to tread carefully with, right? Something that might spark a lot of feelings for a lot of people. I'm not a fan of the word overweight. I see it's being used a lot for a man as long as he has a larger body, like wide shoulders, back, and a not slim belly. I'm like that, and I'm not overweight at all. You know, that makes a lot of sense, Ehiki, because the term overweight, as Monkey was kind of talking about in terms of so when Monkey was using the term, I was using it in terms of a lot of countries like to set actual numbers to what's considered overweight or underweight, just for the purpose of making aggregations, general aggregations, right? For doing science. But as Monkey was talking about how no one's actually the average person, right? So the line for what should be considered overweight or underweight for you personally is not something that the government's gonna know, not something that anyone else is really gonna know. You, even for yourself, you may not know. And especially because as we were talking about, weight is not really a useful metric because it's not a direct metric to health. It's just something like it's just something that's been good enough until this point because we've had so much other trouble trying to find metrics for health, if that makes sense. It's like when you see a color and you're not sure what it is, but I'm gonna call it green because we need to call it something. That was a terrible analogy, but yeah. And so I can see why this would be a troublesome term, because inherent in the term itself is this idea of being over, right? And over could carry a positive connotation or a negative connotation, but it definitely contains a judgment that may or may not be true. So I get where you're coming from, Miyiki. It does seem like it seems like an oversimplified term for what it's probably usually trying to get at, but because it's oversimplified, it also is overloaded with many possible meanings, right? People might mean different things when they use the term and have different connotations about it, and some of those connotations are not very nice currently. Yeah, I think as a way to sort of give yourself an easy word for health metrics, it can be useful, but I can see why in everyday speech you might not want to use it. Because in the end it inherently carries judgment. I'll have to think about that one. Especially because what's considered over or underweight is not only very personal, right? Like your own body is going to be different. It does actually vary by what kind of... Okay, so this is gonna be maybe a very Monkey way of thinking, but Monkey's been thinking recently that like, what hardware are you running, right? Like, are you running like a standard sort of Northern European heritage male, like model, like car model, you know? What model of human being are you? Are you pretty standard? Do you have some, you know, some modifications that are a little different from the norm, you know, that kind of thing. And it really depends on, in some ways, what hardware you're running. For example, as you were talking about having like a larger body in general, wide shoulders, wide back, and like a sort of what do they call it? Like a solid build? A lot of cultures up till now have actually considered that the most healthy body type for their standard model male human beings. And so that would then be silly to consider that overweight, because that's the ideal. And even now amongst different cultures and different demographics, there are differences. For example, in a lot of East Asian cultures, the bar for being overweight is lower than the bar in a lot of Western European heritage cultures. And that is partially due to physicality as well. For example, there is a higher rate of diabetes amongst people of East Asian heritage, I believe, and maybe also South Asian heritage. Even if you have a lower, not just weight, but like fat to body size ratio, there's still a higher risk than amongst similar in more, say, European heritage populations. Monkey does think that probably has something to do with past culture and stuff, like how Europeans can drink more milk. That means you probably have to be more tolerant to all the things that come with drinking more milk, right? Like milk is a colloid, a suspension of fat in water, right? So you're consuming a lot more fat, for example, so your body needs to be able to process that better and handle that better. That sort of thing. I don't really know. I don't really know the specifics again, Monkey, not a health expert. But sometimes health metrics are set differently because of that. And it's not a cultural thing at all. It's in fact just a health thing. I don't know. It's hard to know, and that's why Monkey always comes back down to you gotta just know yourself and do your best, knowing yourself and applying what you do know about others and seeing which of that applies to you and which of that doesn't. And of course, listening to experts. A mix of listening to yourself and listening to experts. Because the experts don't know you, and so you have to do that part of it. But you also don't know all the studies that the experts have spent many years making sure they know, right? So it's gotta be that combination somehow, and that sounds much easier said than done, and even saying it sounds complicated, but I guess we just try our best, huh? People from Samoa and close to it throw all the calculations off. Oh, is that so? I don't know much about Samoa, actually. Oops. Where was I? Doop. Oh my goodness, I am so far behind, I apologize. Oh boy. I think of bony, very literally, as in protruding bones and sunken skin, clearly malnourished. Ah, I see. Clearly malnourished is probably a good way to put it, in terms of like that is something that we can kind of qualify. We can kind of see, and we can definitely measure. I think we can measure. At the very least, we have a sense of what that means, right? We have to, because that's a part of survival. And that obviously is something not to strive for, not to have. But actually, you can be malnourished and still have a lot of mass on your body, right? Because malnourished can also include not getting enough vitamins, that sort of thing. I think we all kind of get what unhealthy is. Like, it's one of those things where you can kind of figure it out. You can kind of figure it out just naturally because evolution has programmed us to know what unhealthy is, right? It's when we try to qualify it with actual, like, okay, so these are the things that mean unhealthy when you, like, visually. That's when it starts to get kind of difficult, right? Because you're like, well, but what about this kind? Or what about that kind of unhealthy, you know? What about patron kami of tea? Well, I guess that makes some sense, but tea is such a big thing. There's definitely another kami in charge of that right now. It's such an important thing. But I guess I could be a minor kami in that pantheon. Maybe I'll see if I can track down who's currently in charge of tea and if they have smaller tea spirits in their employ that I might join. Harry Potter is probably the best guess either way. Not topped by the Hunger Games, maybe. Ah, Hunger Games! I thought there was another big one. That was the other big one, I guess, that I had heard of recently. But I think Harry Potter still surpasses it. And definitely in terms of cultural staying power, I think Harry Potter still carries a much stronger cultural legacy than Hunger Games. Now I'm thinking for TV show. Oh no, I was thinking about movies. No, that's not it. If you can't be the best person, be the worst person. It's all good news. That doesn't sound good. Hello, Penguin. Welcome, welcome. I would say there's no such thing as the best person or the worst person. So you might as well just be yourself. That's probably the best person you can be, is the person that you are. Well, if death is a big fear for you, being told remember you will die is probably not the best intro into mastering your emotions. You know what, Mongoose? That is a perfect way of putting it. That is, yes. Probably better to start with something a bit smaller, huh? Yeah, Monkey wouldn't say that death is like a huge fear on my mind, in that I don't think about it all the time. But I'd rather avoid it, personally. Not gonna lie, I could do without it. But even as an immortal monkey, while it may not be as much of an inevitability, it is still a thing that can happen. It's still a possibility in life that is important to come to terms with. And so, it's still a thing that monkey thinks about sometimes. So it's not like all the monkeys on the mountain being immortal means that none of them have ever died. That's not the case at all. So it's a thing. It's a thing. And if it does happen to monkey, I would like to be able to accept it when it happens, because there are some I don't know. That's just the way it's gonna be, in the same way that this moment is my only moment, then that will be Monkey's next moment, I guess. But yeah. Yeah, Monkey's not how you say, not trying to get there fast. It will happen karaoke is like the apocalypse of the Bible. It can be tomorrow, it can be in a month, it can be after 1,000 years. I think that may be a little bit too true, Ahi. I apologize. I don't mean to. Soon. I mean, really, what will happen? Oh dear. Spooky monkey. Remus, welcome. Desire, spooky monkey. Hello, it's good to see you. How you doing? Have a good Halloween? If you are angry, remember you can commit arson. I don't know about this one. I don't think so. I don't think that's a good idea. I once randomly texted all my immediate family members that I loved them. A few thought I was dying. Right? I know what you mean. Sometimes I think about it, I'm like, they'll probably think I'm dying or something is wrong. Part of it comes down to culture too. Monkey's lucky in that I do come from a culture where telling each other I love you is not unheard of, and in my family in particular we do say it, but we don't really do that where we, you know, text it to each other out of the blue sort of thing, you know? It's just not part of our culture, and, you know, while Monkey could be the force for making that a thing, sometimes there are other ways too. Other ways that don't make everyone think you're about to die. Focus on the right now. Understood. Oh, that took me a moment. I was like, the right now? The now on the right? On the right? Which side's the right? Stage right? Focus on the right now. And I was like, what? Wait, are there two nows? And one is on the right? I thought I'd have to check and make sure there were no doppelgangers sneaking around on this spooky stream day. And I was like, oh, no, that can't be right. So, oh, maybe the correct now. Focus on the correct now. Well, which one is the correct now? I hope it's me. But then again, I don't think you need to focus on me. I'm not that important. So maybe I'm not the right now. And then... This is Monkey's brain processes. And then Monkey realized what was happening. The right now. The now that is right now. Ah, I see. The present now. Oh dear. I find myself wondering how you juggle living your last day every day with preparing for the future and stuff like that. Philosophy is tricky. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of... You say it much better than Monkey does, Mongoose. That's kind of exactly what Monkey was getting at. Like, if it was my last day, my priorities would be completely different, you know? My last day would have different priorities from my second to last day, would have different priorities from my last week, my last month, my last year. It really depends, right? Maybe it's because Monkey's a bit of a planner, but if I knew how much time I had, what I could do in that time would be different, right? Like if you only had one moment left before you were going to die, what you might do with that moment is gonna be different than if you found out a day in advance, a week in advance, a month in advance, that sort of thing, right? That's how Monkey feels. And like you said, the problem with that philosophy that a lot of people run into is this idea of, if it's your last day, then you're not gonna do anything that worries about tomorrow. Like, if it was my last day alive, I would eat up all the food in my fridge, that's fine. I won't have a stomachache tomorrow because I won't be around tomorrow. And I won't have to worry about, well then, if I ate up all the food in my fridge, what am I gonna eat tomorrow? Doesn't matter. There's no tomorrow. So your priorities are different in that way too. That's kind of why Monkey likes the paradoxical way of thinking that comes from Zen ways of thinking. Of like, the point slope. Okay, that's not Zen, that's Monkey's analogy. The point slope philosophy of, this is the point, you are at a point, but that point has a slope. And, you know, even in that case, you don't know if your line slope is gonna change later. You've no idea, right? And you can only change your slope so much from the previous point because, you know, that's how lines work. They can't be discontinuous. And so there are constraints to your slope, and you also don't know that just pointing in a slope is going to take you in that direction later. But it is still a part of the you right now. Part of the you right now is where you're pointing. So if you're like, for example, my my goal is to get healthy, and the me right now is not at the health level that I would ideally like to be at. You can still accept that that is the point where you're at right now. This is the me right now, and that is okay, and it's wonderful because it's the me that I have right now. However, if there is a way that I can point my slope such that the next moments that I might have a higher probability of attaining that ideal health level, whether that's like eating more vegetables or exercising more or giving yourself more rest, for example, that kind of thing. Point yourself in that direction, then hopefully that'll put you somewhere. But it doesn't matter. You can enjoy just the fact that you're pointing in that direction, right? And that does set up your next moment too. It's this hard to describe paradox between being in the moment, but also being willing and able to care about the future and where you came from, but not care about it too much. Care about it in the context of where you are now. It's very difficult. Monkey likes to talk about these things, but much of Zen is easier to say in words than it is to truly, fully understand and feel in a way that words cannot express. Which is why a lot of it sounds paradoxical when you put it in words. But yeah, that's been kind of Monkey's way of reconciling the two. The caring about the now and valuing the now, while still caring about and valuing where you're gonna and where you want to be. Where you want to be, having a place you want to be and setting yourself up for it while still having a place where you are right now and enjoying it for what it is. Academic furnace monkey. Academic furnace. I don't know if I would consider myself very academic. I just a bit of a nerd sometimes. And I say that in the most, what's the word, loving way possible. Bit of a nerd sometimes. But academic furnace actually sounds kind of cool. Like, I don't know what it means, but it sounds cool. And I guess furnace definitely describes monkey, so... I've always been inclined towards the Epicurean philosophy mindset of trying to take it easy. I think trying to take it easy sounds pretty good. Monkey's definitely on the try to take it easy side of things. I did not know about Epicurean philosophy though, so now you've got me interested. Let me copy that and save that term so that I can actually look it up later. Because I don't think I know too much about... I don't think I've heard the word Epicurean and Epicurus, or Epicurus. I don't know how you pronounce this person's name. But I don't think I actually know... I don't think I actually knew what it meant until you've told me just now. Take it easy. Yukkuri. Lapsed Catholics? Lapsing is just a conjugation of lapse. Oh. What does it mean, lapsing? I mean, in the context of Catholicism? Can you lapse out of religion? Or are they lapsing at something else? Monkey apologizes. I don't think I understand the context well enough to understand what it means. Lapse is not to not practice the religion in the prescribed fashion. Ah, okay. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, of course, duh. Somehow Monkey didn't see that. Monkey doesn't. Sometimes monkey brain's not great. Misses some things, but yeah, I did not think about that. That makes sense. Yeah, extreme stoicism leads to it being your fault if you get tortured. Whoa, that's scary. Oh, interesting. Monkey doesn't know much about stoicism. The philosophy that Monkey probably knows the most about is like Zen style Buddhism, but even that Monkey doesn't know much about. Yeah. I think Zen style would say, at the extreme, is that there's no such thing as fault. But if Stoicism leads to it's your fault, that sounds kind of scary. I don't know much about the Stoics. I know they were stoic. That's about it. I went to get tea and the conversation went in a weird direction, huh? Hello, Best Squid, welcome back. Sorry, I'm still in the past, so I hope you're actually, still back. Maybe you left again. Who knows, I guess, with Monkey this far in the past. Weird direction. I guess so. What were we talking about? Philosophy? I wonder what it is you heard when you came back, Best Squid. What was Monkey talking about? I am reminded of a monster in Kyuranger that stole birthdays. Oh! Whoa! It stole birthdays? That's a really interesting concept. Singing clumsy together. Yeah! Clumsy together. I was thinking, clumsy together strong? But do you get stronger or weaker if you're clumsy together? I guess it depends. But at the time the brain named itself, it did not know what it was doing. Oh. When the brain named itself, it didn't know what it was doing. Probably true, huh? However, if you would like to name your brain right now, it should be able to know what it's doing. Like, hi Bob. Just name your brain Bob, then the brain will name itself Bob and it'll know that that's what it's doing, right? Hey Bob, how's it going? Did you know you just named yourself? Of course you do. It just happened. That being said, Monkey's never actually met Bob. I've never actually met Bob before. I'm guessing that Bob is there, but you can never be sure. Actually, if it's a brain, maybe it should be named Brian. Brian. Kinda like Bob though. Rolls off the tongue. B names for brains, you know? There was a birthday thief in Kyuranger. I don't remember that episode, lol. Oh! Naga was asking what's so important about them and gave Balance his best smile as a present. Ah, that's a good present. Oh, I remember now. I loved those two. Their dynamic was really cute. Oh, that's nice. It's nice when people have a good dynamic. Yeah, Edward's father was played by Vincent Price. Edward. Oh man, Monkey has been lost. Who is Edward? Oddly, more money and more power is used to look worse at times. Monkey has lost the thread of this conversation. I apologize, Mongoose. This is my fault for being so far. Suckling babe. Suckling is not a noun, but it is a word that is used. Oh, not bad, not bad. Albinism and leucism, I think. Leucism, I can't remember. Is that the one where you get patterns? Let me see. Leucism. Ah, leucism. Oh, I see. Partial loss of all types of pigmentation, including carotenoids. Oh, I see. Well, I wasn't speaking specifically of albinism and leucism. I'm not sure if they both exist in humans or not. I'm sure that albinism does because I know some people who have told me that that's what they have. But I don't know. I don't know the details of leucism, so I cannot say. However, I'm talking about hypomelanism, which is not as common of a term, I suppose, when talking about animal coloration in general. But it's very common with like herpetology with like snakes. It's used for snakes. Actually, I don't know if it can be applied to humans or not, so I apologize if that is the wrong term. But by hypomelanism, I mean having I think the pigmentation in humans is melanin, the one that makes skin and eyes and hair darker. And so hypomelanism in humans is when these things got lighter. Not always in a single package like it is with albinism, where that just completely shuts down the pigmentation. And so everything is lighter. So hair becomes white, skin has no pigmentation, which makes you very sensitive to the sun. And eyes have no pigmentation, and so in humans they're blue. Depending on what species you are, some species have red eyes underlyingly. In humans they're blue. That sort of thing. But just hypomelanism is just having less melanin in general. So say for example being blonde like Monkey, or having relatively light skin like Monkey, or having... I don't know if humans have this color of eye. I chose it before realizing that. Do humans have this color of eye? Do I match human? I look human, right? When Monkey chose this human guise, I suppose I wasn't very well informed. Hazel? Yellow? Gold? I know cats have this color of eye. At the very least, it's not blue. So Monkey could not be considered an albino-colored human, for example. But using snake hobbyist terminology, and I apologize if that's a bad idea, let me know. I can I can figure out the real term for humans. I don't know. I don't know what the real term for humans is. But you could say that that Monkey has some hypomelanistic traits. Like I'm mostly pretty light colored, right? Except for my tail, I guess. But even my tail is not black, which is the most pigmentation. So on the other end of the spectrum, like when talking about snakes and stuff, you might say hypermelanistic. And that would, in human phenotypes, traditionally probably translate to like the darkest pigmentation that humans can achieve in each of these pigmented places, I suppose. And so when I say hypomelanism evolved in two different ways, there's actually some study going on about how populations of humans that broke off became hypomelanistic, kind of like Monkey looks, at two different points in history, and those populations moved to different areas. And this can be actually very clearly seen in the fact that, for example, Northern Europeans tend to be hypomelanistic, and East Asians tend to be hypomelanistic, but the coding of that genetically is different because they happened at different times in different places. Hey Monkey-san, sorry I'm late. Love the decor and the fit. Oh, thank you. No problem. Oh my goodness, look at the time. Monkey didn't realize it's been... Oh my goodness. Is that correct? Almost an hour and a half. 2 hours and a half? My goodness, Monkey was not planning to go that long today. Luckily, the reason why Monkey went over, I guess, is that I'm not too worried about the time. But, oh, this has been so much fun. I probably should wrap up sooner rather than later. I don't know how soon. I should start thinking about that, though. I apologize. And I'm so behind. Oh dear. Let me see if I can even catch up. I can only stay for half an hour. Oh, I see. I bet by the time you read this, I'll probably be gone. Oh, I'm so sorry, Eduardo. This is a problem that Monkey really apologizes for. I know that the slow pace of our tea club meetings is nice in Monkey's opinion in some ways. I really like the cozy slowness of it, but I know that it creates situations like this, and I'm so sorry. Lactose tolerance was probably made easier by the European demyelination. Demyelination, is that the word? Since calcium and vitamin D have a lot of synergy. Oh, fascinating. Oh, I had not thought about that. Whoa. Well, that being said though, lactose tolerance, calcium coming from milk is actually not related to lactose, I guess I should say. Calcium in milk, there is a lot of calcium in milk, but mostly that was being promoted because the milk industry wanted to sell more milk. If you want a higher density of calcium, you can get a higher density of calcium from things like fish or green veggies. Green veggies are great for calcium, actually. And I feel like the European populations that drank a lot of milk probably needed to get their calcium from the milk because there was a lot less green veggie available, and maybe even less fish available in the really cold, more polar regions, right? In the winter, you have no other option. You drink milk and you eat bread. That's how you survive, and it's a way that you will survive. But if you have other sources available of fresh veggies and fish and stuff, actually you can get a lot more calcium that way. Where was I going with this? I tell you what, that's a phrase I utter with distressing frequency. You know, hemoglobin, me and you both. Monkey feels like even more so. The more time that passes, the more Monkey's brain just has too many things, and trains of thought no longer continue. But actually, that might just be a consciousness thing, like being conscious of it. Because I probably did that a lot as a baby monkey, I just didn't care. Now I realize I'm doing it. The time I got in trouble, I was talking about how the average height in Japan spiked when red meat became more readily available. There does appear to be a correlation with that, actually. I can see why that might be contentious because I don't think it's like a proven one-to-one correlation, like a proven one-to-one cause-effect relationship, but there does seem to be a correlation. And in addition, you can tell, like, one of the cool things, I guess, about diaspora is that it creates this interesting nature versus nurture experiment naturally, where you can see that Asians who grow up in cultures that are diaspora, oftentimes they also have things like their height will spike. And up until recently, for example, Asians outside of Asia, East Asian specifically, so let's talk about Japanese since you mentioned Japanese. Japanese outside of Japan, especially in the European-dominated spheres, Europe and America, had, if they were born or raised in these areas, have had a much higher average height than those in Japan. But Japan is starting to catch up, actually. It's very interesting. It took, like, less than a generation? Maybe about a generation? It's definitely within the lifetimes of people who are currently alive, the average height has been changing dramatically. So youths in Japan nowadays have similar height to youths who grew up outside of Japan. It's a very interesting phenomenon, and the introduction of Western food is often taken to be a possible factor there, because there does seem to be a correlation, and there's a lot to be said about. I mean, red meat is crazy. I don't know if you've looked. Red meat is crazy. It has lots and lots of protein, basically, and other. There's nothing that really matches red meat in the things that red meat does well. And so, growing up with that can affect things. Of course, people will also point to things like growth hormones being more common in foods and things like that. But it's an interesting phenomenon, to say the least. Say now, it occurs to me, what time are we shooting for today? We're approaching the 2-hour mark. Oh my goodness. You say that as Monkey reads it, we are approaching the 2.5-hour mark. Thank you, Shatter. I appreciate it. That was so sweet. I really appreciate you looking out for Monkey, because clearly Monkey is very bad at looking out for myself. Yes, that's true, Shatter. I appreciate that. I will try my best not to get on too many tangents, because Monkey does actually have some other things that need to happen after this. But it's just been too much fun chatting with y'all, I guess. I didn't even realize how much time had passed. Center now for me, please. Oh! The center one. That's a good choice. I think that's a good choice. I would welcome more no's, but at the moment, we only see one. That's good. That's good. Don't worry. If you are seeing multiple nulls, though, don't worry. That's temporary. That'll don't worry about it. Yeah, just one null. Focus on me. I'm that important. Well, if you say so. Wait, I think I'm being misquoted here. I think there have been some very important omissions to that quotation here. Bye, Monkey-san. Oh, goodbye, Eduardo. I'm so sorry for missing you, but thank you so much for dropping by. FYI, looking cute today. Oh, thank you. Give me those pancakes. You are a big fan of the pancakes, Eduardo. I heard Nal say there's no such thing as a best person, but I think there's someone fall in that category of best person. I present to you Tianshi no Jackie. No. Oh dear, Hinky. Oh dear. I am just Monkey. But thank you. But no. I'm the one in past now, hearing the VOD of minutes ago. Oh, I see. That can happen too, huh? I've seen a few people draw similarities from Epicureanism and Taoism. Oh, that's interesting. Monkey doesn't know too much about Taoism, I just know the very basics. But I could kind of see that. Lol brain. Lol brain. Yeah, I think brain is here. I'm not sure. For context, Naga's people had removed all emotion, and he believed this was a mistake. so smiling was tough for him. Oh, that's really sweet. Oh, that is a really good birthday present. Oh my goodness. That's wonderful. Oh, that makes Monkey feel fuzzy. It's a rather cute subversion of expectations. Naga is almost entirely emotionless, while Balance, a robot companion, is full of energy. They even speak like a JK? Yoshikose in series? That's cute! I like that! I like that a lot. I'm pretty sure Nala looks human. The tail is a little bit of a departure, but I like it. What tail? Yeah. Humans have tails, right? It's okay. Kuro is blocking the tail. It's a perfect disguise. Perfect disguise. Oh, thank you, Shatter. Thank you. Monkey, have you seen 50 VTuber impressions video by Monty? Don't know this person. No, I haven't. I highly recommend it if you find voice impersonation to be fun. Oh, 50 VTuber impressions. That sounds fun. That does sound fun. Maybe I'll have to look into that. Or if I forget, maybe you send it to me, huh? Sounds like fun. I put it on Media Other on the Discord server. Ah, you're already ahead of me, Ryder. Of course, of course. Yeah, that sounds like fun. Thank you for recommending. I'll just place a hashtag love Tianshi here, just in case. What are you talking about? What is this just in case? Better safe than sorry. Hashtag love Tianshi. Wait a second. Hold up. Why is this? Where is this coming from? Might as well hashtag love this. Oh dear. Thank you. Oh dear. Oh my goodness. This is some sort of secret attack on the monkey. Is that your real face? You must have had work done. What? Hello, blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. That sounds fun, actually. I like the flow there. Bob is catching on. Now might be a monkey in disguise. Oh, I see what you mean now. Yes. This is definitely my real face. I am definitely not a monkey from Flowerfoot Mountain who has transformed into a human guise in order to communicate with humans and have fun together. Definitely just a normal human right here, as you can tell from my very normal human appearance, as Shatter was mentioning. But welcome. The monkey you see is not the only monkey out there. Don't worry about it. The multiple nulls are temporary? Oh. Oh, I'm sorry. But you see, Shatter, everything in life is temporary. But that is why we appreciate the present. Tie it all back in somehow. Oh dear. Worry only about the right now. Oh dear. The correct now? The now on the right? The now that is right now. Oh dear. Though I will say, don't worry about it. Just appreciate. Potatoes! Oh, thank you, Ryder. Thank you for the potatoes. this spooky monkey version, stealer of souls and provider of many? Hello, Shaman Blade. Welcome back. You know, I'm not sure if I can answer that question because I don't fully understand what it means. just monkey. Looks like a normal human witch to me. Ah, yes, human witch. That is correct. Thank you, Vesper. Thank you. Is it stealing if we provide souls willingly? Oh. I guess it's not stealing if consent is involved. You want my soul now? Oh dear. I'm not sure if souls should be made to belong to anyone but themselves. I appreciate the offer though. I can offer to try my best to provide stuff that is good for your souls. Does that make sense? I'm sure that makes sense. In my position as a minor kami, that's the best I can do. I don't know if I should be trusted with the ownership of any soul but my own. Wait, our right or her right? That is a good question. Why don't we all just face the same way for a second? Then it'll be the same, right? What is a normal witch? Oh, just your average everyday witch, you know. Oh, like Flying Witch. Very normal witch. Do you know that manga series? Very good stuff. One of Monkey's favorite manga. Hola, no, amiga. Saludos, buenos dias, ojofe. I hope you are well, mi amiga. Oh, thank you, Wipers. Welcome. It's good to see you. Oh my goodness. I'm glad you were able to make it in. We'll probably finish stream pretty soon, because Monkey has been streaming much longer than I was anticipating. How long has it been now? My counter says... we're about the 3.5 hour mark, if you don't count the intro. So I'm gonna have to sign off relatively soon. But I'm glad you were able to make it. That our longer stream means you were able to stop by in person. The tribe sent their best doctor. Which doctor? Yes. Ah. Yes. Sounds good. Thumbs up, Monkey. Thank you. I prefer I give my soul after that excursion to the Cloud Palace. But whatever works for you. No, that's okay. I see. Makes sense. Slides my soul sneakingly onto now. Wait! Wait! Monkey is going to be planted with souls? I don't know if this is a good thing. Hey yo, wait, you're Kami level? Huh. Does that mean we need to provide a sacrifice as not to invoke your ire? No. You know, I hadn't thought about it. I suppose that could be a common misconception. No, Kami do not require... Not all Kami require sacrifices. I don't know about... If so, I offer my humblest apology and ask for your mercy for this lowly servant. Oh, no! No. I am a minor Kami, but I do not require sacrifices. I do take offerings. I do appreciate offerings, but I do not require offerings or sacrifices. Just you communing with me is already wonderful enough for me. I hadn't realized I was provoking Monkami's ire. Oh dear. Monkami? Wait. No. Also, Monkami is kind of cute. But no ire. There's no, not at all. No. Monkey very happy. Monkey happy. Might I recommend the Discworld book, Small Gods? Might be just the right one to start with. Oh, is that so? Which one did I start with? I forget what it's called. Not that I started with. I mean, which one did I peek at? I only got to peek at it. But, it wasn't that one though. Oh, so the Discworld novels is okay to go out of order? That's nice. That's nice. 13. Wow, there's a lot. How many are there in total? Oh, maybe I'll start at somewhere else then. If you recommend it. 46 IIR. Wow. What is? Shaman Blade. An offing. Wait, I need to pull that up so I can. Wait, hold on. What just happened? Monkey was not prepared for this. Thank you, Shaman Blade. Thank you so much. Thank you for the $5. What? Monkey has been shocked. Wait, let me see. I need to go. Let me read the message. An offering for Monkey. May there be a good harvest this year. Oh. Oh, thank you. It is harvest time, isn't it? Thank you so much, Shaman Blade. I am not a very powerful kami, but I will do my best. I will do my best for your harvest this year, Shaman Blade. Thank you. Money. Money bags. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. 41. My mistake. Oh, I see. Still, that's a lot. Oh, and with that, I say goodbye. Take care. Oh, thank you so much, Shaman Blade. Thank you so much for stopping by. Oh my goodness. That's too sweet of you. Thank you so much. Oh, I hope you have a great rest of your day. It comes in. Oh. Sends Monkey money. Leaves. That's a real move right there. Like a sneak attack. King behavior. Yeah. Really. Oh dear. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Oof. Oh my goodness, and oh my goodness, I've caught up to chat. Can you believe? I suppose you can believe, because I bet I have all of you to thank for that, don't I? Are y'all being nice to Monkey? Helping Monkey catch up to the present? I appreciate it. I cannot believe. Pachi. Ah, thank you, Mongoose. Hello, present now. Hello, present Shatter. Congratulations. Thank you, Besquid. Thank you. Oh, it is very kind of y'all. And I hate to reward your kindness with a little bit of bittersweet sadness, but I guess that does make it about time then, doesn't it? Monkey's gotten caught up, and so I probably, as much as I want to stay, as difficult as this is for me, I hate leaving. But I should probably head out soon. Somehow it always works out. Due to my secret support in the background. The magic of the tea club. Ah, magic. That makes sense. I am a witch after all. Oh dear, oh dear. Bye bye now. Bye bye, Remus. Thank you so much for coming. Oh, it's been great. It's fine. You're a busy monkey. Thank you, Best Squid. That's very sweet of you. I appreciate it. Come by. Come by. Celebrate with your beverage of choice. Heart. Oh, thank you, Remus. Thank you, thank you. Okay, I suppose. Oh, as hard as it is to say, I will have to say. With this meeting of the Tianshi Club is now officially adjourned. Thank you all so much for coming. Oh, well, thanks for the stream. Glad you had fun. Yes, thank you, Ryder. It's good to see you. And I had fun. I hope you had fun. See you the next time, Monkey. Take care. Thank you, Ryder. I'll see you next time. You take care too. And I hope you feel better soon. Thank you for the stream now. Happy Halloween once again. Happy Halloween! Hashtag love Tianshi. Mr. Heart Monkey. Oh, thank you, Shatter. Thanks so much for coming. I had a great time. I hope your voice feels better soon too. Thanks for the stream. Bye bye. Thank you, Best Squid. Thank you so much. It's always good to have you. It did help me forget about my illness while I was here with you. Oh, that's nice. That's wonderful. I hope you get lots of rest and health coming your way. Hashtag love Tianshi again. Again? Wait. That's not how this works. I guess it is how this works. So thank you. Bye bye. Bye bye, Best Squid. Was lurking while working. Bye bye. Oh, Pungna, thank you so much for coming. Oh, I hope you enjoyed yourself. Lurking while working. That's a good one. That sounds pretty good. It has got good rhyme, good assonance. Lurking while working. While lurking. I don't know why that's so funny. I like it. While lurking. Oh dear. Oh dear. Alright. Well, but thank you so much, everyone. Really. This was a great time. I enjoyed myself so much. This is wonderful. And I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.